Goal for today here is just main intent, get a good pump and test out the elbow, see where we're at with the elbow. So far it's feeling pretty good. This is 2 exercises right here. I'll do 3 different circuits. So this is circuit number 1. I'll move into probably some sort of fly or dip as the next movement, along with another bicep exercise, and then I'll finish up with maybe like cable cross and probably like a barbell curl. That'll be it. We'll be out. It's hasn't been hard, hasn't been challenging really to train during the fast, because fasting like that kind of taps into your focus. I was able to kind of block out the noise and then hone in on what I need to do. It does make you a little cold and a little callous, so not the best thing if you have a family, but anyway, it was fun. And you know what's cool about it is literally anybody can do it. You know, when it comes to a 315-pound bench or a 405 bench or 600, 500-pound squat, people can do that, but it takes a long time. Anyone, a 5-day fast only takes 5 days. 3-day fast takes 3 days, and 1-day fast takes 1 day. So you have the option to think about it that way. And if you wanted to do one, you could start today. This morning I had 3 meals, basically kind of 3 breakfasts stacked on top of each other, but the first meal I had to be careful with. So the first thing I had was some eggs and some bone broth. Bone broth was heated up, and then the bone broth kind of cooks the egg. Do some salt and pepper in there, blended it up. And then about an hour later, I had my first meal. First meal was a sweet potato with some egg whites and a whole egg and some cheese, kind of in an omelet. And then meal 2 was some rice and fish. Meal 3 was rice and fish again, and I got some rice and fish with me. Tonight I'm having some sushi, so I'm looking forward to that. Question number 1 was, when you go to sushi, because I mentioned eating sushi, what do you eat? I eat fish, you dumb motherfuckers. Hitting up some dips. Been a little while since I've done some dips. Dips are one of those exercises, whenever I do them, I'm like, I need to do dips more often, and then I never get back to them. The exercises are too simple, right? They don't seem challenging, but these are hard, and so are lunges. Lunges are brutal. Just for my warriors out there, guys like Michael Hearn and CT Fletcher. Stand right on efforting. I'll never be able to keep up with those guys, but I'm working on it, you know? Go back and forth on some stuff and you learn how out of shape you are. I love training so much because there's so many different ways of training. I could come in here one day and do some farmer's carries back and forth, and I can quickly see that I need to work on my grip. I come in here a couple days later and superset when I'm supersetting here, dips and curls, and recognize like, man, I'm not in as good enough shape as I'd like to be. I'd like to be able to do better on these dips especially. I could come in tomorrow and do some walking lunges and be like, shit, I wish I could do these with more weight in my hands or more weight on my back, or even be able to go up and down the turf twice without it burning the crap out of my legs. There's always opportunities to work on stuff, and the longer that you've been doing this and the further that you dive into going in one direction, the further away you come from over here. So if you're going towards endurance, you go whoosh, your endurance goes way up, but let's say this is your strength over here, it goes like this. Then you go to lift heavy as an endurance athlete and you test yourself and you're like, oh my God, my strength is way down here. Then you start working on your strength and you start kind of going back this way, and then the endurance is now down. There's a saying in strength that's not known that well by the fitness community, but the best program is the one you're not currently doing. And that's the reason for that, is that you end up falling off, and kind of hard to have a hybrid style of workout, but some people are able to manage it pretty well, where they're able to still be a good athlete, they're still able to have good endurance, they're still able to stay strong, and they're still able to stay lean. Very tough to balance all those things out. My stomach feels like really bloated from eating some of the carbs. Like usually if I have a potato, I have like 1 potato at dinner with like a steak. But I've eaten 2 potatoes already today and about a cup of rice, maybe a cup and a half of rice. And so my stomach feels a little like distended and bloaty. I'm supposed to kind of keep my protein kind of moderate to low for today. Tomorrow, be back to normal eating. Tomorrow, I'll actually probably utilize some intermittent fasting in the morning. I'm traveling tomorrow, so I usually bring like snacks with me that are healthy, or I buy some healthy snacks at the airport. But I actually found it easier just to fast and just have a black and white rule of like, don't eat anything until you land and have an opportunity to eat. So while that's a shitty rule, it gets me off to a better meal. Done with another great day of lifting. I'll be back at it again tomorrow. Worked on some chest, worked on some biceps. Probably my favorite combination of thing to do. Then I also like to flip that around and do back and triceps. It's a good kind of push-pull mix. You guys will probably love it too. Strength is never weakness, weakness never strength. Catch you guys later.